It's Tuesday, May 17th, 2016. And I recently came across a video showing a debate between Sean Carroll and Michael Shermer and Dinesh D'Souza and some other guy. The debate had the statement, has science disproved religion, or some such thing. And anyway, I heard both sides, and the side that was in favor of the statement, science has disproved religion, touched upon the nub of the actual situation, and the people who were saying science has not disproved religion were mostly completely out to lunch. But one key way that science has not disproved religion is that religion is a natural phenomenon. Daniel Dennett's dangerous idea regarding religion being a natural phenomenon cuts several ways. One way it cuts is that atheist groups, when two or more atheists are gathered in the name of their favorite political or social agenda, points, or flavors, they can easily create a de facto religion with belief maintenance, dogmas, doctrines, heresy trials, excommunications. These are some of religion's favorite things, and atheist groups will quickly use those tools against people who don't toe the party line, the political and social party line. And so that's one way. One way that Dennett's dangerous idea cuts. Another way that it cuts is, of course it shows that the gods of religion are bullshit. Yeah, that's one key thing. But one key thing it also shows is that the morality that is couched within religion, the fully natural human morality, the fully natural and evolved human codes of conduct, those cannot be just easily discounted. And if they are, then abusiveness can result. So the abusive permissiveness, the present in leftist culture, ultra-left, the hippie type of permissiveness, the Stonewall type of dysphorias revolving around gender and sexual orientation, that are essentially lead to dead ends and to abusiveness and denialism. Those are the things you get when you think that without God everything is permitted. Now, kind of a-holes like Dinesh, when I say a-hole, I mean his general kind of snotty-nosed tone and approach to every single discussion he ever has on the subject. He's really kind of a snotty ass. But in any case, he says that atheism just gives you despair, which is bullshit. And religion and his God are the source of all morality. Now, he's got it wrong. So it's like both sides are tiptoeing around the actual situation, and the atheist side is there a little bit, but when people like Shermer say that atheism, doesn't involve religion, and atheism is not a religion, that's not really 100% correct, because you get two or more atheists, like I say, gathered in the name of their favorite thing, and they will damn well create a religion like that, a de facto religion. Okay? De facto and pretty much in facto. So, how humans, if you examine the low birth rates present among the seculars, you realize that humans are only just barely able to function without this cultural structure that comes from religion, or, at least a culture. Think about rural China. Rural China is socially conservative and pro-family. And you have to kind of put to one side the communist ideal of having a one child. That's backfired, and it's totalitarian evil bullshit. But just in rural China, they have a higher, they're more socially conservative, and they don't get that from the Bible, they don't get that from the Quran. So they can be kind of a control experiment situation. So, anyway, the key thing missing from atheist groups is that they just discount out of hand all of the fully natural human morality and human-derived, evolved codes of conduct that are within religions, and they think, hey, that just means we should have gay marriage and gay adoption and gender dysphoric trans people in the wrong restrooms and just all sorts of stuff. Everything's up for grabs. And Steven Pinker has talked about how, humans are not a blank slate. That kind of pushes against this leftist proclivity to think that humans are a blank slate when they're not. And this deal of from Sam Harris claiming that we don't have free will, that's kind of another lefty thing where, we don't have free will. Now, the absolutist free will that comes from the right is not there, but we have a lot more free will than a carrot or petunia. So both sides have their blind spots, and there needs to be kind of a merging. On the atheist side, there needs to be room for social conservatism made, and recognizing that, yes, there is a level of abusiveness that came from the right with regard to how they abuse people and force them into suicide and other stuff. People like Spencer Kimball and Boyd Packer on the Mormon side, and that's nothing compared to what Islam does to people by bagging women and separating men and women and not allowing women to go on dates with men, and that's like 10 times, 100, 1,000 times worse than the stuff that happens in the Mormon and Catholic churches. Catholic is probably worse than Mormon as far as abusive level to children, but Mormons are up there too with their abusiveness. So, we can recognize that, there is a level of abusiveness that came from the right with regard to shame. But on the other hand, there's an abusive level from the left with regard to too much permissiveness and destruction of families and thinking that everything's up for grabs when it isn't. There's no such thing as gay marriage because humans are not asexual, nor are they parthenogenic animals. And taking a trip to the sperm bank to get a kid is just as unnatural as eating what's a lefty equivalent? Eating a GMO, a genetically modified fruits and vegetables. It's just as unnatural and even more abusive to raise a kid in a household where there's not a mother and a father, either direct genetic descendants or a direct genetic link between the parents and the kid, or parents who are stand-in. Mother and father, not two mothers, not two fathers, not this weird outlier, strange, permissive, human nature denialist type of setup, but a natural setup. So your average Whole Foods shopper should be a great advocate for traditional marriage, because that's the most natural and the one with the longest standing history, So So that's abusive bullshit from the left. To nihilist abusive bullshit. So there's problems on both sides. And yes, there's no God, but doesn't mean that we should throw out the natural morality wholesale that is couched within a religious context. Fully natural, fully evolved religious context. So be careful with throwing out too much. That's kind of the bottom line of that natural, good human morality that helps us counter destructive behaviors. All right, that's my response to that debate and related commentary. Okay.